I'm trying my best and I'm hoping that you like them. No, I am not in Brazil, people. I am just in my classroom with these awesome birds, toucans, that some of you guys have made. And back of me you can see a statue. This is the statue, it's called Christ the Redeemer, and this is actually in Brazil. It's huge. And if you go to Rio de Janeiro, which is a city in Brazil, you'll be able to see that awesome statue of Christ the Redeemer. And so isn't it awesome that we have a God that redeems us and saves us every single day and has so much grace on us? So let's go ahead and let's just get into our lesson. Okay, so today we're talking about Jesus's teaching in the temple. So yesterday he cleaned up that temple because it was not good. So we learned about how people were selling animals for sacrifices in the temple, and money changers were inside of this temple of what should have been prayer and praise and worship, and they were taking money, they were selling things, and it was like almost like an indoor swap meet, like a mall. What is that? When it should have been a place of praise, worship, and learning about Jesus. So we're going to move on from that, and I challenged you guys the other day, and I asked you guys, why don't you pick a spot in your home, maybe a quiet spot where you could just pray and you could just read God's word and just say, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm just going to have some Jesus time, and I'm going to pick a spot. Can you time me for about 10 minutes? So you can work, you can start with 5 minutes, you can start with 10 minutes, whatever works for you, and then just build your time as the weeks goes on, and you're going to learn so much about Jesus and love him even more. So today we're going to be talking about Jesus teaching in the temple. Now, the Jewish leaders, the bad guys, they were actually following Jesus's every single step. Yeah, every single step. It was like they were his shadow, and they kept questioning him. Hey Jesus, what about this? Hey Jesus, what about that? They're trying to catch him, either maybe in a lie, or they're trying to show everybody he does not know what he's talking about. He doesn't know the answers. He's not the Messiah. You shouldn't love him. So the Jewish leaders hoped, hey, if we could catch him, then in like something like fishy, then we can have all these people that are looking up to him look at us instead. But Jesus knew, he already knew the Jewish leaders' tricks that were coming up. He knew what was going on, and he wasn't going to be tricked. So then he said, hey guys, let me give you some questions. And guess what? The Jewish leaders couldn't even answer them. So Jesus was like, yeah, I'm the real thing. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about Jesus' teachings. We're also going to learn about his teaching at the temple on Tuesday before his crucifixion. Now, I got to show you something. We have been working on coloring. Hello, I'm back. We've been working on coloring our pictures. And so what I put together is eventually after we're done, let me scoot back. This is what we are going to make, Passion Week calendar. So on the first day, we're not quite there. The only thing we're doing is just coloring. We're not cutting, we're not gluing, nothing like that. So we have Sunday right here, triumphal entry. Then we have Monday, Jesus cleansing the temple. And then right here, Tuesday, we have, and of course the days don't match the days that we're doing, so try not to get confused. But this is Jesus teaching at the temple. So you should be coloring this, and we will cut it out, and we will glue them later. Okay, so we should be at this point right here on Tuesday. So, and I haven't forgot about the rocks. I will give you an update on my rock painting, and I hope you're doing your rock painting too in just a second. Hey, so we're continuing on with our lesson. I just wanted to point out some very important things that Jesus was doing. Jesus spent much of his time during his last week sitting in a temple and teaching the people that gathered around him. However, there were some people that did not like Jesus, but they were listening to him, and some of them were enemies who were looking for a good reason to arrest Jesus. I know. If they only knew how much Jesus loved them. So, I have a question for you. Do you know the names of the enemies that were trying to arrest him? I'll give you 2 seconds. If you're not sure, it's okay. I got the answer. So, the Pharisees and the chief priests were enemies, and they wanted to arrest Jesus for sure. So, I have a question for you. Here's my question. I have my paper right here. Why is a doctor allowed to treat you and give you medicine? Why is a doctor allowed to treat you and give you medicine? Well, a doctor has gone to school and they learn what medicines to give. How about this question? Why is a teacher allowed to teach in a school? Well, I went to CBU and I studied for a lot of years to be a teacher to you guys, so I had to go to school and learn how to teach you. When Jesus was teaching in the temple, guess what? The Jewish leaders had a question for him. And they asked him, who said that you could teach in a temple? The Jewish leaders were trying to trick Jesus and get him into trouble with people. So Jesus answered with a question. Dun dun dun. He asked them to give John the Baptist the right to baptize. That's in Matthew 21, 24 through 25. Let me read that to you. So I have my Bible. Here, 21, 24 through 25, it says, Jesus answered them, I will also ask you one question. And if you answer it for me, then I will tell you by what authority I do these things. Did John's baptism come from heaven, or was it just human origin? Okay, then Jesus had another question. The chief priests and elders decided not to answer Jesus' question. I wonder why. They didn't know. They knew that whatever they answered would probably cause some problems. So let's look at Matthew 21, 25 through 26. They discussed it among themselves. So the priests were like, just like how you guys do when you're not supposed to be talking and I'm talking. Okay, so they discussed it among themselves. If we say, from heaven, he will say to us, then why don't you believe in me? But if we say, of human origin, we're afraid of the crowd because everyone considers John to be a prophet. They answered Jesus, we don't know. And he said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. Oh, so Jesus was like, I'm not going to tell you. You said you don't know, which they knew in their heart. It's Jesus. He's the truth, right there. So, another thing is, Jesus went and told a parable. So, I'm going to read you Matthew 21, 28 through 31. So, it says, here's the parable. It's the parable of 2 sons. What do you think? A man had 2 sons. He went to the first son and said, my son, go work in the vineyard today. He answered, this is the son, I don't want to. I hope you guys don't say that to your parents. But later he changed his mind and went. Oh, good choice. Then the man went to the other son and said the same thing. I will, sir, he answered, but he didn't go. He said he will and he didn't do it. Reminds me of some things that maybe you guys do when you don't want to clean your room. Okay, so, sorry about that. Okay, I will, sir, he answered, but he didn't go. Which of the 2 sons did his father's will? They said, the first. Jesus said to them, truly I tell you, tax collectors are entering the kingdom of God before you. For John came to you in the way of righteousness, and you didn't believe him. Tax collectors and did believe him.
But you, when you saw it, didn't even change your minds then and
Believe him. Oh.
Chief priest. Okay.
So, what do you think? What do you think? I have some questions for you. What's more important, to say that you'll obey God or to actually obey God? What do you think? Okay. Which of the two sons were temple leaders like? Which of the two sons were the temple leaders like? I'll help you with this one. The leaders were like the son who said that he would obey but didn't. When are we like the first son?
When are we like the first son?
When we promise to obey God,
By obeying.
obeying our parents, not lying to them or teachers or anybody else, and being kind to others, but then don't obey, don't tell the truth, and don't act or speak kindly to others. Wow. Okay. So we have a lot to think about here. Jesus was
Doing a lot of teaching.
and giving us some truth here. So what I want to end with is, who do you want to be like? What do you want to do? Do you want to take Jesus's teachings and keep them in your heart and really live through them and not sway to the right or to the left, but just be heart on fire for Jesus, eyes fixed on him 100%, and telling the truth and keeping your word true? Yeah, that's what I want to do too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. There's a video that I have attached to this. I hope you guys are doing well. I love you guys, and
I'll see you for our next